Hey y'all, peace. It's now July 29. We're over at Rich's house working on the access door for the trailer. Been looking at a lot of videos on how to mount these. I actually watched a video a long time ago when I bought this, along with all the lights and when we did the back doors. And watched the videos this morning and looking at all the mistakes that people made by not looking into this first. We'll get to the mistakes in a minute, but first let me run you through what we've got. We've got a 9234 U.S. cargo trailer. We haul our go-karts to the racetrack. So we stack them up in here. We can get 3 of them in. There's another piece of the rack that goes in. We got everything from our old RV in here, and all the videos are on the page here. If you go look at the playlist, we put we welded, reinforced, put the air conditioning from the RV in, insulated, rubber coated the roof with the silicone roof stuff. It's got the fridge from the RV. It's got the microwave up there from the RV. We don't have the bathroom or nothing like that, but we don't live in it. We just camp in it when we're at the racetrack, so we don't have to go to a hotel. It's kind of convenient. We get to sleep in a little bit, and at our age, we need all the sleep we can get. Not long ago, we rebuilt these doors, and these doors were really no different than the access door. This is a U.S. cargo door, an access door. This is the side door of the trailer. These pieces of wood were on the bottom. Down below, this was like so. Right, that rottenest one on the bottom. So it's just a wooden frame. I noticed in some of the videos, like the Interstate has a tubular metal frame, you know, a little bit stronger stuff. Here, they really only put wood and pieces of wood connected where they were going to bolt the hinges on, right, where it hinged from the front of the trailer. And then this is for the cam lever latch that we took off of it. It's here somewhere, but we're not putting it back on. It's like this thing here, right? So we went ahead and taped off the doorway because we're painting our trailer. Last thing we're going to do is paint the trailer the same color as our pickup truck, which is the midnight blue metallic or pearl. So we've fixed the trim. We've cut out all the rot and fixed it. We've done the POR on the frame. I made new fenders. We got new wheels, tires, painted. Everything's good to go. Other than this here and painting the tin, the body, you know, we haven't got there, but we wanted the RV door handle just because we camp in it at the track, and like other people have said, you get the jokers who try to lock you in your trailer so you can't get out. Although I would always on a side door, I'd close this and I put the lock in, but they could zip tie you in. Go-kart racing people can, I mean, when they're drinking, they'll do silly things. They'll wrap an extension cord around it. You can't kick through that, but these doors were no different. Because it was so old. We live in Michigan. We get a lot of salt if we're going out racing in the winter, which we do. We'll go to Daytona all the way to Florida in December. So coming back, salt and all that stuff on the roads will eat up the doors. But what happened was, you'll be able to see here, this is just the access door, the inside of the tin. The salt gets in, it just starts to rot. This here is not nearly as bad as these 2 back doors were. They were much worse, and the bolts holding the hinges through the door were literally these. We used stainless steel hardware. We bought new hinges. We welded and beefed everything up. The bolts were so thin, it's a wonder the doors didn't fall right off on the highway. These doors are absolutely solid wood now, all the way through and through. There is no air voids in here. With the original door system, with a can opener and a good set of shoes, you could you could literally cut through the tin anywhere where this is just a great big void. There's just paneling. This paneling, it's just paneling like you put in your kid's bedroom, right? Or you used to in the 60s. Paneling, then this wood, and then the tin. And if you know where the voids are, anywhere basically between the hinges and between where the handles bolt on, is going to be nothing but tin and paneling. And like I said, the better trailers might have one tube in there, but there's still great big voids. So what I saw is people cut out the hole to mount this handle in their existing door. They don't realize that there's a big air void, and there's saber saw or jigsaw would literally tear up that aluminum You can cut that aluminum skin with a razor knife, folks. Score it 2 or 3 times, and then you can just, like a can opener, you can puncture your way right through it. Right through it. Same with the galvanized roof on these trailers. You want to put a crank open vent in it or something, you draw a line and use a razor knife. It's so thin you can literally cut right through it. You don't need a big machine tearing it all up for you. So we bought a new piece of sheet metal, and we bought all the wood when we bought everything to do the rear doors, right? These things are a lot heavier than the original doors, and we didn't end up reusing the original channel. We bought new U-channel, aluminum U-channel, and sealed everything, bonded all the layers of wood together, so it's so good and strong. These things will outlast this trailer by 100 years. The old aluminum is still over there, the old trim. A lot of it's so rotten from salt that we couldn't reuse it, but the side door stuff here, access door, is still in good shape. The access door is actually thicker than those doors there are only 1 inch wide, 1.25 inches overall outside. This is almost 1.25 inches, a little over 1.25 inches here, almost 1.5 inches, 140, 1.40, yeah, so almost 1.5 inches, a metric 1.5 inches inside, right? So what we're going to do is build up the door. We're going to build the door with the mechanism in mind. So we're not going to build the door and then cut a hole and start hacking and cutting, because we already know that this distance here, if I could prop this thing up, the distance between this is the outside of the handle here, and you see there's a foam rubber seal here that's going to be up against the skin. So you got a gap between the outside skin is going to sit here, and the wood here, the first piece of wood, that's about 1/2 inch. So our piece of wood here is the perfect thickness. This stuff measures 451. It's just under 1/2 inch. So we won't have to carve into a big, thick 2 pieces of 3/4 inch. Now, how are we going to make up the rest of the thickness of the door? The same way we did with these doors. We got this plywood here. These are scrap pieces, but we're going to use, this is going to be the inner piece. This is going to be the strengthening or booster piece, right? And although they're sections, we're going to literally glue and clamp them together. They'll be bonded. This stuff will be, even though the thicker pieces won't be one big solid piece like this is, as long as you've got one piece, even if it was the paneling that was one solid piece, once you glue all those plies together and make one big strong piece, once you encase it with the trim all the way around this door, look at it, folks, it's strong as an ox. I mean, that thing is strong. You can't, I was worried about the hinges being able to hold it up. They're so heavy. But it worked out really well. So we're going to do the same thing here with the access door and get our RV handle on it, but it's going to be much easier for us. All we're doing is marking the center of the door. That's the bottom, that's the top. It hinges from this side, so the handle's going to go there. What we're going to do is we're going to end up taking us a little template. After we take the screws off, take the inside handle off, we'll make a quick template of the hole. We'll transfer it onto here. Obviously, we're going to set it so it's flush here, right? So we got as much of the lock mechanism sticking out where we're going to fit it in, because granted, these doors are not the same size as the door openings. Obviously, look at what we got going on here. We jacked the doors up. Me and my brothers helped me. We put some spacer wood in here to lift them up. And you can see here, there's still a good gap between here and here as well. Here and here, here and here. But you have to do that. I mean, these are production made and pretty shabbily made trailers. They're not very well made. And you don't know it until you start tearing into them. So bang, knock and bang. If you're going to do this RV door handle on your utility trailer, take the door off. And the one thing I saw a guy and his wife do was they at least removed the inner panel, that paneling on the inside of the door. they removed that to expose what was on the inside, and basically it was a metal frame with wood and tin on the outside. So they already had a head start. They already kind of knew what they were up against. With us starting and building the whole door, the whole thickness of the door is solid wood, piece of cake. We can fit this piece, then we can fit the other pieces of wood that we're going to build the thickness up with around it, trim right around, fit it in. We'll glue those down. We'll glue the paneling, the inside piece on. When all that stuff sets up, we'll flip it over. We'll put spray glue on the front side of the wood, spray glue on our tin, and we'll glue the tin right down to it as well, so it's not going to move. Obviously, last thing we're going to do is have to probably notch up the trim a little bit. More than likely just on the inside, probably not on the outside, because it's not gonna come anywhere near that close. But on the inside, we might have to. Certainly, I'm gonna have to put a hole through the center, right? A little rectangle for the lock mechanism to function and operate. But this, if you do it this way, if you start from zero and build your way up, although it was a nightmare because the door was all rotten and had to be replaced, it ends up being a godsend because we're starting right from ground zero. And it's going to be a much, much, much easier job than trying to retrofit it onto something that was already made and trying to save it. Hang out. There's going to be more. I'll run you through this stuff as I go, but hang out in there. Best bit of information I can give you is at least remove that inside piece of paneling on the door itself, which would be this bit here. Remove this. I mean, mine's glued on. It ain't never coming off. But with this stuff here, it's just stapled. It's just stapled down. You might have a screw or two every now and again, but for the most part, it was just stapled. You can see little tiny staples. You know, we actually rolled some paint on the inside of our door, but it's just stapled together. It's just cheap. You know, it'll pop right apart. So do that so you know what you're dealing with first. We'll bring you some more. We probably ain't gonna get this thing all done today because it's already about 3:30. But we'll bring you some today and we'll finish her up tomorrow. Godspeed. Hang in there, y'all. We're praying for you.